Hey everyone, welcome to another video in the RedCorners.Forms tutorials series. In the previous videos we've seen how to set up a shared project style Xamarin.Forms solution, and then we've adapted the code to benefit from the app-based application class that comes with RedCorners.Forms. In the last video we've seen how to change the iOS status bar color without writing any custom renderers directly from XAML, thanks to the AliveContentPage class that comes with RedCorners.Forms. If you're interested in the iOS video, the link is in the description, so make sure to check it out. So for Android, we can change the safe areas, we can change translucency, and we can change the status bar color in case it's opaque directly from XAML or using bindable properties. So let's do it. So if we want to see what we have so far, here's the iOS simulator, and if you can see, there's this switch that's right now off, and if I turn it on, it's gonna make the status bar light. So it's a bindable property for the iOS to change the status bar style. So we're gonna do the same thing for the Android platforms. So here in our AliveContentPage we have this property UI status bar style, which is responsible for the color of the status bar on the iOS. And for Android we have three properties: Android layout in screen, which sets the safe areas of Android, which is a boolean; Android translucent status, which is also a boolean that sets the translucency. So if we're going to make it opaque, we have to set it to false; and Android status bar color, which sets the color of the status bar in that page. So let's say we're going to make it red. So let's say, similar to what we did on the iOS, we want some switches and buttons that change the Android status bar style and colors. So we're going to bind these two properties to some buttons and switches. So let's do it for translucent status first. Binding Android translucent status, and then here binding Android status bar color. So let's go back to the view model and then do bool. So by default it's false, let's say, and then we'll make the property get return this one, set property ref this one, and also we need a color, so color Android status bar color. Let's say by default it's red, so we're gonna make a property for it. And let's make a bunch of buttons that change the color. So public command red command, which is a command that changes Android status bar color to color.red. Then we have green command, which changes it to green. Then we have blue command, which changes it to dark blue. Let's make it dark green. Okay, so now we have these three commands that change the color of the status bar, and we have this boolean that makes it opaque or translucent. So we're gonna make switches that control this stuff. So if I go back to the home page, okay, I'm gonna find this. I will just copy paste what we had on the iOS, and then translucent, and then we bind it to this one. And also we're gonna make another grid with 3 columns. Column definitions, width equals star. So we're going to have 3 equally sized columns with 3 buttons. This is for red command. And then this is for blue command. And this one's for green. Now if we run the project, we're gonna see in our sidebar the switches that control the Android status bar. So now we have by default an opaque red status bar. So I'm gonna open the sidebar. As you can see, it's not translucent. So if I make it translucent, it becomes like this. And I can make it blue, I can make it green, I can make it red. And for the last step, let's just hide the iOS controls on the Android platform and hide the Android controls on the iOS platform. So we're going to go back to the view model, and I'm going to make 2 properties. Public bool is iOS, which is equals to device.runtime platform equals device.iOS, and then public bool is Android device.runtime platforms equals Android. Then I'm gonna bind this to the visibility of the grids that we have. So this one's for the iOS, so it's gonna be is visible binding is iOS. This one's for Android. And this one is for Android as well. And to make everything nicer, I'm gonna make the sidebar open from the bottom of the screen, just to have it fancier. And then content size is also auto. And there we go. So here's how we change it, and we're not seeing the iOS specific settings anymore. So far you've seen how to style the iOS status bar and the Android status bar from XAML using AliveContentPage without custom renderers and with bindable properties. In the next video, I'm gonna talk about sidebar, which is a really cool component that comes with RedCorners.Forms. So make sure you follow these videos. And thanks. See ya.